Hi everyone, welcome to day 2 of lockdown and day 2 of our practice at home. So today's practice is all about slowing and calming, and I think lockdown is a nice time to kind of reflect on how much we try and pack into our days and pack into our lives. And because of this, we're often racing and rushing around from thing to thing, or trying to multitask, trying to pack a few things up while you're going from there to there. And this rushing is really, really activating for the nervous system. It can turn on that fight or flight response, which we don't want stuck on long term. It's not great for us. It can make our brains, our amygdalas, think there's a threat. That's why we're having to rush around everywhere. So it's really important to be mindful of how you're moving between places and how much you're trying to fit into a day. So with that all being said, if you have any cushions or pillows or anything you would like to use, please do grab those. Also get yourself a drink bottle, and I'll see you back here on the mat. Okay, so we're going to begin in cat-cow today. So to set yourself up there, just have your knees under your hips and your wrists under your shoulders with your fingers spread comfortably wide, giving you a nice solid base there. Once you're into position, we're going to start movement with breath, but I just want you to move and breathe as slowly as possible and really work on slowing down each time. So as you inhale, lower your belly and lift your tailbone up, chest forward, look forward. And then as you exhale, tip your tailbone under, stomach to spine, chin to chest. And continue like that with your own breath. Again, working on going nice and slow. Using the breath to slow the movement and the movement to slow the breath. Wherever you are, take one more each way, cat and cow. And then let's all meet with a nice neutral spine. So right in the middle there. Lovely. Now from here, you might like to walk your right hand forward just slightly, and then with your left hand, we're going to thread the needle. So put your left hand through and under your right hand. If it's available to you, bringing your shoulder and cheek down to the mat. And breathe here for a moment. Now, with really slow, mindful movement, we're practicing moving slowly here on the mat. Come back up to a neutral spine. Walk that right wrist under the right shoulder. Then what you're going to do is keep your right knee where it is, but start to spin open and lengthen your left leg out so your foot is on the ground. And we're going to open up into a modified plank. And breathe here. And then coming back down to our cat-cows. Nice and slowly. How slow, how deliberately can you move between the postures? Let's move back into cat-cow again. So inhale, lower your belly to the mat, chest forward, look forward. And then exhale, belly to spine, chin to chest. You can think of the poses in yoga like those tasks, like those things you do in day-to-day life. The jobs at work, the house cleaning, the things you do with your kids. They're the poses. And just like we have to move between them from A to B, we move in between the poses. It's a great way to practice. I'm just going to spin around so you can see me. So this time you're just going to walk that left hand out slightly. Take your right arm, thread it through, bending your left elbow a little bit there, just to give you some extra support. If your shoulder and cheek aren't reaching the mat, you're welcome to bring a pillow or a cushion in to bring the ground up to you here. And then breathing. On your next exhale, slowly coming back out, you're going to walk that left arm back so your wrist is under your shoulder. Left knee stays where it is. You're going to open up and straighten up your right leg out along the mat, and then lift that right arm up towards the ceiling. Modified side plank. Breathing here, you can look up at your hand, down at the mat, whatever's more comfortable for your neck is absolutely fine. And as you exhale, coming back down into all fours, tucking your toes, walking your hands slightly forward, checking that your fingers are still giving you a nice base spread, nice and wide. Now pressing into all four corners of your hands, especially the knuckle of your pointer finger. You're going to lift back and up into downward facing dog. Keep your knees nice and bent for this first one. If your body is asking for some nice slow movement, then do that. If it's asking for stillness, then do that. Lovely. Now slowly, taking as many steps as you can, we're going to walk your feet up to your hands, in between your hands, coming into a forward fold again. Have those knees bent as much as you need. If your knees are bent, you get a nice stretch in your lower back. And then take an option here, however you like. What can be really nice is you may need to bend your knees a little bit for this, to walk your hands so they're under your feet and your feet are pressing into your hands. Can create a really beautiful pulling down. Adding a bit more to gravity to get a nice stretch. You might also like to take opposite elbow and just hang there, maybe swinging a little bit side to side, or you might just like to have your hands resting wherever they fall, shins, mat, wherever that might be. Great. Now take your left hand and place it down on the mat. You might need to bend your knees quite a bit to do that. That's absolutely fine. With your right hand, slide it up along your left arm, bending your left knee even more. We're going to open up into a twist. Breathing here. And coming back down on the exhale. Swap that over. Right hand on the mat, knees bent. Right knee bent even more than the left. And then slide your left hand up your right arm and open up into a twist. And slowly floating that arm back down. We're going to walk back now, back into that downward facing dog. And notice as we do this, do you feel any frustration? Do you feel any desire to move ahead into the next posture? Just notice that. It's really common when we're so used to rushing from place to place. It can be really hard to just sit and be. On your next exhale, bend your knees even more. Look forward between your hands and step the left leg forwards up between your hands. Lower down your back leg and we're going to come into a low lunge. So lifting your hands up and overhead. The hands can come to prayer or stay shoulder width apart. Really using that back leg to open up the chest more and get a slight back bend in your lunge. And then exhale, breaking free and coming forwards. From here, you're just going to shift your body weight back into a runner's lunge. Your aim here is for your knee to be under your hip. So what that often means is drawing back that left hip into the socket, and you may need your left leg to be bent there as well to allow you to do that. Now we've got that, let's flow a few times. So as you inhale, coming forwards into your lunge, and exhale back into runner's lunge, pulling that hip back into the socket. Again, inhale forwards, slow, easy movements. Exhale, coming back. Inhale forwards, and one last time, exhale, coming back. Wonderful. Coming forwards again, lifting up off that back leg, and then stepping back into downward facing dog. Let's take that to the other side now. So inhaling here, as you exhale, bending your knees even more, looking between your hands and stepping that right foot forward between the hands. If you need to walk it up, that's absolutely fine. Lowering your back knee as we come into a low lunge. So using that back leg strong and firm, lifting up and open, getting a lovely back bend there. Not focusing on the back bend itself, but focusing on an open chest, lifting it up and open towards the ceiling. And lowering back down. Let's move into our lunge flow. So once again, as you inhale, coming back into runner's lunge, drawing that hip back into the socket. Exhale, coming forwards into our low lunge. Inhaling here and moving with our breath. Wonderful. Now from here, this time, you're just going to walk that right foot out to the outside of your right hand and just swing it back around to meet the other one. Have your knees and your feet come together. We're going to move into a child's pose with your head resting on the mat. Grab your pillow if you need to bring the floor up to you. Arms down by your sides. And taking a moment here. Now it's up to you. If this isn't comfortable to you, you're welcome to move into Shavasana, so laying on your back with your legs and arms out long. And feel free to stay wherever you are for as long as you need. There is no pressure to move, as I am. I hope you've enjoyed today's practice, and I encourage you to really be deliberate for the rest of your day about how you move between things. So moving slowly off the mat rather than being like, okay, I'm done now, and springing up and running back to whatever you were doing. See if you can take that mindful, deliberate and slow movement with you through your day so you can kind of keep that nervous system nice and calm and relaxed. Thank you so much for flowing with me, and I look forward to seeing you back here on the mat again soon.